Guys, today I am in the beautiful neighborhood of Parkside on the river. We're only about 25-30 minutes north of Austin. And I wanted to do something today that we don't always get a chance to get into in as much detail as I'd like, which is when I show you these beautiful homes from these great builders, I want to focus on the plan, showcase what these builders are capable of. But right now is an interesting time in new construction because of all of the incentives that these builders are offering. And I know I talk about it, I allude to it in those videos, but sometimes it's hard to describe just exactly what's going on because it is so time sensitive. But right now, timestamp it as of today, I wanted to go through with you the actual incentives that Coventry is offering on this floor plan because it's really interesting, right? They've marked this down almost $100,000. The price on this house is now $858,990 at over 3,700 square feet, this gorgeous two-story that I'm about to walk you through. But even beyond that, even beyond the massive markdown that they've put on the house, they're paying all of the closing costs for the buyer. They're buying down the rate, and not just buying down the rate, but they're buying it down to where in the first year, it's what's called a 2-1 buy down. That first year, whoever buys this home is going to pay 4.99%, and then 5.99 for years 2 through 30. So incredible interest rate savings. On top of that, there are some additional incentives that can be available just depending. You might get a little better rate if you're VA, if you're FHA, whatever the case may be. We definitely want to talk about it because it is in some scenarios going to be situation specific. But I at least wanted to give you a glimpse of when I talk about builders are really going all out to earn buyers' business right now, this is what we're talking about. But without further ado, I want to walk you through this floor plan because I do think this is one of Coventry's best. This is a really cool lot. This is actually available right now. The home I'm about to walk you through is not a model. It is staged, so you're going to get some of the spatial understanding that furniture can help with. But this is an actual available home that you can buy today. Really cool lot, really great back patio area, and a functional layout that I think really works for a lot of people. But without further ado, let's get into it. Okay, friends, this is 1200 Blanket Flower by Coventry Homes. Really gorgeous front elevation here. Have the brick instead of the stone exteriors, which we tend to see people really enjoy the stone, but this brick is a really nice combination, a really nice color, not something you see every day. So I think it works well. Archways are a nice touch, and you just end up with a lot of curb appeal here as we step inside. You're welcomed in by these beautiful tall ceilings, 2-story ceilings in the entry that continue on into the great room. Nice, generously sized office here as you first step in. And what I love that Coventry did here, and something that I think kind of separates a builder that puts real thought into their homes from some others who just, get them up as fast as possible and try to kind of churn and burn. You'll notice in this office and throughout the house, because this is on a corner lot, they've added additional windows here. And so you just get more natural light, taking advantage of the fact that you don't have any homes to that side, making it just feel much more open, much more airy, much larger. Even though it's already a large home, over 3,700 square feet, it just gives it an even better feel. Gorgeous dining room. Really love these alcove styles. Really enjoy how on this one you get the coffee bar that leads into the kitchen, into the dining room. So a really nice flow here and some really good functionality. That coffee bar setup is often something that people really like. The guest bathroom for the main level. Right across from the second bedroom on the main level in addition to the primary. Another thing I really love that Coventry does, all of their 2-story plans include 2 bedrooms on the main level. Something you don't always get. Laundry room right here. And something most people want. And then the mud drop zone area. That second bedroom is, for the way people live today, so incredibly important, I think, to have, simply because you're going to want guests. You're going to want them to have kind of a space that feels a little more private, a little more convenient. And it's, I think, missing out of too many 2-story plans. This one and all of Coventry's plans take care of that. As we move into the great room, you can tell just flooded with light. Love all the natural light in this house. Super tall ceilings again. This makes it feel very open, very nice. Generously sized kitchen. And really enjoy how they have this fireplace. There's a couple of builders in town who do this on these staircases to the side. When you have this kind of switchback staircase style, they do these fireplaces that adjoin the staircase instead of along this back wall where you might sometimes see a corner fireplace or a back fireplace that would take up window space. Instead here, they put it against those stairs so you continue to have all that wonderful natural light. And it gives it a really cool architectural element, I think. Makes it feel really purposeful, gives you another kind of unexpected design choice that I really enjoy. And then of course the stairs are a real focal point in this plan as well. Really enjoy the railing that they did. Here's that aforementioned coffee bar that leads into the dining, along with a really generously sized pantry. Again, 3,700 square feet plus, you're going to get some pretty good size here. Nothing's going to feel super small, but it also doesn't kind of feel cavernous, which sometimes you get into 3,500 plus square feet and it starts to just feel like, okay, it's a lot of space, but there's nothing that feels special or if it feels homey about it. This plan does not suffer from that. Stepping into the primary suite, really love how you have this corner and kind of walkway into it. Does make it feel a little extra private. And then the primary bath. Dual vanity, big soaker tub, lots of natural light in here as well. And then a really pretty shower, little step down shower with the frameless. Really like that they did this ceiling detail here. These kind of soaker tubs, and especially the built-in ones, aren't always something I love simply because they do take up a lot of space. But again, in this square footage range that we're talking about here, that's probably not as much of a concern as it might be if you were looking, say, at 2,600 square feet, where I think sometimes plans really suffer from having those big tubs taking up a bunch of room. The primary closet in here is just absolutely massive. Huge. Absolutely huge. Now, if it were me, I'd probably get rid of this door. So I'd have a little easier access to this really nice shoe closet, but you could certainly leave it that way as well. Either way, most people will be able to find more than enough space. I know a lot of folks want the his and hers closets, the dual closets as it were. This I don't think you have to have because of just the size of that one closet on its own. Really impressed with the main level of this floor plan. It feels really, really nice. And then you get out to the exterior and you take a look at this patio that is absolutely absurd. This is what they call their Texas-sized patios, and I see why they call it that. You have an extension off over here. And then on this portion of it, you have 2-story ceilings up here. Really a great place for entertaining if you are someone who likes spending time outdoors. When it's not 120 degrees here in Texas, this would be an ideal patio setup for you. Moving on. Now we talked a lot, we're gonna go upstairs. We talked a lot in the beginning about just the incentives that builders are doing. Keep in mind, this is an available plan. And like I said, priced at $858, we can get you more details. They're also doing the interest rate buy down. They're also paying closing costs. So builders are really kind of going out because I mean, this is 3,700 square feet. A few years ago, you'd have spent a lot more and had a lot less in terms of incentive. And that's just kind of indicative of what the Austin market is doing. But builders are really responding to it. We're seeing resale take a little bit longer for sellers to realize that, hey, maybe their house isn't worth what it was a couple years ago. Builders are really kind of taking the lead and saying, hey, we know we're not going to get what we got a couple years ago. Let's find out a way to make houses move. And they're doing a good job with it. So on this second level, secondary bedroom here, and moving on into the Jack and Jill setup. The only problem with Jack and Jill's, as I'm encountering right now, lots of doors. So not always everybody's favorite because of the number of doors that you have. but it is certainly a good use of space and maximizes what you get for the area. Moving back out into this loft area, huge loft. The only quibble I have here, I really love that you get a lot of natural light in this upper floor as well. Thanks in large part to these huge windows, even from the main level, they're still providing a lot of light up here as well. I don't love this door here. I love that it's there. I love that we have access to some attic space, as you can see. I love that there's access. I love that there's a little additional storage. If it were me in an area that I think would get used this much, I wouldn't want that door there. So I might remove the knob, figure out a little different pull system, something to make it look a little more upscale to me, and then maybe hide it behind a table or something like that. Glad it's there, but I would try to aesthetically maybe do something a bit different, but not something that's going to be obviously a huge issue. Moving on, we have the fifth and final bedroom. I will say the spare bedrooms, not quite as large as others you might find. Definitely not small, but they didn't put a premium on that. And I think that makes sense. They got the fifth bedroom in, and most people don't need those spare bedrooms to be massive anyhow. This is the shared bathroom for that bedroom we just saw, as well as the loft area. And then last but not least, we have the media room. And it's dark in here right now, but I'm going to hit some lights for us. Really nice, good-sized media room with storage, with areas to hide your components. If you did want to truly treat this and do it all out, do the surround sound, you'll notice they have blanks up here to where if you wanted to run surround sound, you could. So they've already thought that part out and made it super simple. Really good size here. You're probably not putting like huge theater seats in here, but any kind of big sectional would work really nicely. So that is this plan from Coventry, guys. I'm interested to know, what do you think? 3,700 plus square feet for $858. Really a lot to like here in terms of value, I think, when you consider that they also have the interest rate incentive that I mentioned, paying your closing costs, and who knows, maybe there's a few dollars in it if you wanted to negotiate further. Really interesting and a nice plan. I think Coventry's doing a lot right, but I want to hear from you guys. What do you think? Are the incentives enough to make you consider new where maybe you weren't before? Are builders doing enough to earn your business? Or is this a no-go? I'm interested to know what you think. Drop me a line in the comments. And of course, if you have questions about a certain area, a certain builder, another part of town, resale, new, whatever it is, if I can be a resource for you in your real estate journey here in Austin, I am sure happy to do it. Until next time, guys, see you later.